Let me give y'all a quick walkthrough of what I'm dealing with right now. Fantastic stuff. 400 watt array in series, 40 volts, 10 amps. Coming into this super simple PowerWorx MPPT 300 watt charge controller. It's rated at 20 volts to 50 volts. Remember, my array is 40 volts, right? 10 amps. It's rated that much. Let's see how much power it's getting. It's giving out 244 watts. Now, it's charging this Dr. Prepare LFP battery. But also check this out. I took this cable right here because this is an MC4 connection. This is positive. This is negative. I took this MC4 cable, which is typically red is positive, black is negative. That's not always the rule. That's just typically what it is. But I had a dilemma. This may be confusing for some of y'all. Anderson is so freaking sweet. You can actually pull these things apart like little blocks, sliding blocks, and then switch them. So I took the black that was negative and I made it positive. So that's going into a positive connector. All right, let's take a break and see if I can make this make a little more sense, because I feel like this is confusing. This is positive, this is negative. This is positive, this red one is positive, and this is negative. This connector over here, this wire is not necessarily positive. It's just going to carry current through it. But this connector right here, the end over here, the positive, won't match the positive. Because this doesn't match, I have to take this one, which corresponds to this one, and put it into the negative here. And then this line, this red line, becomes the negative, and it now matches. And the same goes for this line that was negative, now goes into the positive here. See how this is red, and this is typically how things work. But this red that's typically carrying a positive whatever can't go into the positive line. So I had to make this one. You see this black, how this black is going into this red? I essentially made this one positive. So now the black can come over here and go into this one. The red can go, which is now negative, can go into this one, which is negative. Remember, positive, negative, positive on the red, negative on the black. That's why these colors don't match, because they're not intended to necessarily be matched up right here. Okay, let's get back to the video. Wait, let me go back a little bit. The reason why this is so important is because when I'm done with this thing right here, I can just pop this thing out and then pop it right back in my power station. When my power station is full, I could just pop this thing out and pop it right back into this MPPT charge controller. What I would have had to do is constantly disconnect MC4 connectors to go MC4 connector into MC4 connector. But I created this intermediate where this MC4 to Anderson that typically goes into that port can go into this Anderson connection to MC4 because I had an extra. Dope. Now, I'm telling you about this because this power station getting full, I took it off, put the solar input on here, but because this wasn't quite full, now I have my battery clamps going down into a 12 volt adapter, and now I'm charging this. I'm topping it off with 12 volt, giving it 100 and some odd watts. The reason why that's important is this is all DC. Now what I could have done, and what I did purchase the stuff for, I could have seen that this power station was full and then grabbed my my little battery charger that's over there and popped it onto the AC and then charged this battery with the AC connectors, but there's loss there. So I come directly from DC, 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 whole DC thing, and I'm not losing any efficiency outside of like cables and stuff like that. I think that's pretty dope. Pretty dope. And to be honest with you, when this gets full, I don't know if this is expedient or not. When this fills up from the 100 watts that I'm pumping into there, if it fills up, I don't know. I can actually take this 12-volt adapter and then I could plug it into my Best Tech 300 watt inverter, and then I could run stuff down here if I wanted to. I don't know why I would want to do that. I would typically want to do is take that 12-volt connector, pop like a 12 volt to USB A, USB C, and then charge stuff from there.